my name is Julie and I'm with the Pigeon Letters design team. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 6 ways to add texture to your watercolor paintings. I personally use these techniques a lot. I think it adds a lot of interest and personality to your pieces. What I love about watercolor is that it is so versatile and you can really just play with it a million different ways. So I hope that you enjoy it and I can't wait to share it with you. Here's everything that you're going to need to do this, all stuff that you should be able to find at your house. This is a sponge. It has that little scrubber. We're not going to use that side. If you have like a natural sponge, that's also cool. This is just one from Costco. A white crayon, some table salt, if you can see that. Got a Ziploc bag or just some sort of plastic wrap. And then I'm going to show these examples on these little pieces of watercolor paper, but you can obviously use whatever size you're working with. I have 2 brushes, one a 1-inch wash brush and then a round 8. I chose this pretty green color to do, but I'm just going to walk you guys through this real quick. Super easy and really an amazing way to get texture into your pieces. All right, so first we are going to start with, got my stuff here. We're going to start with, get your paint wet. We're going to do a water blooms. So I'm gonna get this paper nice and wet. Really doesn't matter for this one because we are just going to try to make it nice and even so you can really see what we're working with here. So with this one, you don't want it to be too wet. If you use a lot of water while you paint, that's fine. Just give it a minute to dry. Okay, so go ahead and rinse that out. And now we're going to grab the round brush. All right, and with this, to create blooms, think of it kind of like a flower. So you're just going to use the clear water and you're just going to drop it and you can kind of see how it will flow out. So it's pushing the pigment out. And if you want to do little drops, I think they're very cool. You can also go this way where it's a little bit darker. You can just get some clear water and sort of draw a line with it, which is also very fun. And you can see in the middle there, it's already pretty light, so if you go back and do a second one, it will kind of move even more. So the example of this one is this top one right here. So you can see the very cool little tendrils, I guess you could call them. And it's a really fun way to work with negative space if you're making like a galaxy or some sort of foresty type painting. Okay. All right, the next one, we are going to do blooms again, but this time you're going to use the pigment. So we're going to do paint blooms instead of water blooms. So for this one, we're going to get, again, use the wash brush, a little bit of water, and you don't want too much. If it's too wet, the paint won't spread. So it's a fine line You have to make it wet enough, but not too drippy. All right, so this is one of my favorites. So you're gonna get a nice amount of paint and I'm gonna start at the bottom. You sort of just drop it and you can see how it's moving. What I love about this is you can really let the paint have a mind of its own, so it makes it a really organic looking texture. You can add a little more water. Do the top up here. And again, this is a really cool technique for if you're painting like a forest, like misty trees or some sort of landscape. But it's also one of my very favorites to use when I am going to use the watercolor for something like a collage, because it just makes really interesting marks. And you can also do just like you did with the clear water and just do little drops. Love this one. You might want to tape your paper down while you do it so it doesn't, you know, do this like mine is. Still fun though. And you can see again all these little lines sneaking out, and it's just so fun. It looks a little more like this when it dries, a little softer. This looks like an eyeball, very menacing, but I promise it is very a very fun technique. And you'll see here it's kind of pooling a little bit. That happens. If you don't love it, it's going to dry darker where that is. You can kind of twist it a little, and you can see these going along. Okay, so I'll move that one off to the side. Okay, and this next one, white Crayola crayon. It can be, it can be off-brand. It doesn't, I don't think it matters. But this is a really cool option if you don't have masking fluid, or if you just want like a cooler texture. It's a little tricky because it's white on white, so you've got to trust your instincts here. But you just draw on it. This one's so fun, and my kids love this too. We like to do like hidden messages. It's really cool. All right, let's take a little bit of the extra. I'm going to use the wash brush again. This one's pretty easy. Oh, I love it. Notice my paint is a little streaky, and that is because I just put more in there and it's not fully dry yet, so that happens. All right, and how fun is that? So you can use it for something like this real minimalist piece. It's also kind of a cool thing if you're doing landscapes and you want to leave some white for, I don't know, clouds or something. It's a really cool option for that. And I'll show you it while it's dry. It gives this rough texture that I love. It kind of reminds me of some of the pencil brushes on Procreate, which is my favorite. All right, here comes another one. This one, you might know it, you might not. Okay, we're just gonna go through the nice dark wash. I love this green too. Okay. Grab your table salt. This is just regular old salt, but you can use sea salt. It's going to make it a little bit thicker. This is a really good option if you are painting like a galaxy, because as you sprinkle the salt on, it is going to take the pigment off of that part. Okay. So you can see how it's working. The trick for this is you have to let it dry completely and then brush the salt off, and it is going to give you texture like this. So you can actually, I didn't wipe the salt off of this yet, if you can hear it. But it gives really cool, like almost like little starbursts, like a miniature version of the blooms. Very fun. Okay, 2 more. I'm going to use a really light wash on this one. Sorry, I'm such a mess. Okay. All right. Just because I like having that little very light background. Okay. And we're going to use our Ziploc or little sandwich baggie, piece of plastic wrap, old Target bag, whatever you have. Okay. And there's a lot of different ways to do this. I know some people put it directly on the bag. I have a tendency to make a huge mess when I do that. And if you were to do this wet on dry, you're going to get a different effect. I personally just like the wet on wet with this. So you're going to get a really pigmented amount of color. And I do also like to, I'm just going to use my hand. I told you guys I'm a mess. I do kind of like to take some of it away. Use a towel if you want, but whatever. Okay, so just, we're going to drop in some real painty pieces. You kind of see it's already moving around. Okay, so the trick with this one is do your pigmented sections and then also some clear water drops. It's going to help it spread around. This is actually a very good technique if you're using liquid watercolors, because you can literally just use your dropper. Okay, so we have this beautiful mess. Go ahead and put your baggie on it. You can already see it's spreading around, and here you can just sort of push it around where you want it. This is kind of a cool background for like a lettering piece, maybe a background for like a little forest or something. So I love that, but I also like to go back through and sort of press into it to give these little peaks and such. Again, when it dries, it sort of gives you this misty looking background. I like the rough, kind of unpredictable outside portion. So this will come over here, up here. All right, one more. This fun one. So we are going to take a little chunk of sponge. Make this as big as you think you need. Okay, and then, all right. So you're just going to dunk it. You can do, get it a little bit wet if you want. I don't want too much water in it. And then you just pop it in your watercolor. Oh man. And then just dab it around. Okay. I need a little bit more paint. It's definitely gonna be a little thicker now if I got more concentrated pigment, but that's okay. So with this, really the pressure you're using is going to determine, you know, how much is going on there. Okay, so here is the sponge. When it's all dried, this one was a little bit darker, it comes out like that, which I feel like looks like a tree. Very whimsical looking, sort of. Okay, all right. So here are your 6 ways to add texture to watercolor with your household items. And I would love to see what you guys make with these. Like what you come up with as far as using them, which ones are your favorites. And I mean, really, if you have your own, I'd love that if you'd share that with me. So you can tag me on Instagram or send me a message. But I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.